Have you ever tried everything, pushing, pulling, working harder, and still nothing happens? What if I told you that the problem is not you, but the problem is in the timing? I have a client by the name of Bina, and she felt that she was pushing things and yet nothing was moving. And once she aligned with timing, things started shifting rapidly for her, and she started seeing a lot of momentum. Hello, everybody. I am Vaishali Nikade. I am an engineer turned psychic with over 9,000 readings, and I show you how you can leverage the power of the spirit as well as the power of the stars in order to create momentum in your life. In this video, I'm going to show you the difference between forcing something when it is not ready versus just doing the right things and waiting for the timing to align perfectly. And I'm going to share a free workshop where I show you how you can map out your month in such a way that you are leveraging the power of the stars, meaning that you're leveraging the flow from nature where things are going to flow very easily for you and they're going to move very easily for you, and you won't have to put in as much work or force things in order to be able to create the momentum that you're looking for. Your goal is to be able to see what kind of things you're forcing so that you can quit forcing them and aligning with the stars so that things can start flowing towards you. So here's what you're going to learn in this video: forcing and its outcomes, flow and its outcomes, and timing from nature. So forcing, what exactly is forcing? For the purpose of this video, I'm going to take an example. It's a real story with a fake name. The name is Bina. And if you watched any of my previous videos, you probably get the joke on the name. But if you haven't, then just don't worry about it. So forcing. So let's say that Bina is looking for work and she has not been able to find the work. So what exactly would forcing mean? Forcing is when she is pushing hard, she is applying to a lot of places, and she is putting in a lot of hard work in order to be able to get seen or get noticed so that she can get the job or the work that she is looking for. But in case of forcing, what's happening is she's putting in the work, but she's not really getting the results. So what exactly are the signs of forcing? The signs of forcing are you are putting in the work, but you're experiencing constant setbacks and you're experiencing constant delays. And in some cases, not in all the cases, you're going to experiencing a lot of no's. I don't want to kind of make this as a general statement because getting no's is part of getting a yes. But when you are forcing, it almost seems like you're trying to choke things and pushing harder and harder. And when you kind of try to do that, then essentially you will feel a little dejected. You will feel a little low. Your emotional state is going to be a little bit down because you're kind of not getting the response that you're looking for. So what is the outcome? The outcome is that there is a drainage of energy, which means that overall you as a person, as a spirit, as a body, as a soul, you just feel a little bit low because you don't have the result that you're expecting, even though you are putting in all the work. Go ahead and put in the comments below if you've ever been in a situation where maybe you have to look for work or some other similar situation where you're putting in all the work and yet even though you're putting in the work, you're not really getting the results that you are looking for. All right, so now let's get to the second part of it, which is flow. So on one side you have force and on the other side you have flow. They're kind of opposites of each other because when things are flowing, they are coming naturally to you. So you remember in the first case, I said that Bina was just kind of stuffing everything with the resumes and she was trying to force things so that she was expecting a nice result to come in. Whereas when you are in a state of flow, you're just like sending not as much volume, but more that your timing is aligned and you find the right position or the right match so that even though you don't send as much in terms of volume, you will still get responses back. So when things are flowing, they are moving very easily. There is natural momentum. So then what are the signs of flow? Signs of flow are synchronicities, which means that when you are looking, suddenly you may just come across an article on a website or like a news site, for instance, or you may be browsing on LinkedIn and then you just come across like the exact description of the post, or someone from your past may just contact you or connect with you and say, hey, listen, I have this exact position and would you be interested, kind of a thing, which means that not only are things coming naturally, things are flowing towards you versus you having to kind of go and push things and trying to make doors open. The outcome is that it gives you more energy. So how exactly do you find the timing when things are going to flow to you? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I have a free workshop where I show you how you can time things for every month where things start flowing easily towards you. So you remember Beena in the first example of forcing, where she was just trying to stuff all the resumes like that and hoping that, something's going to stick and come out from the other end. Whereas in the case of flow, she's not sending as many, or maybe she's sending just the same amount, but the responses that she's getting are very different, which means that things are moving naturally for her. There is natural momentum and things are aligned so that she feels that whatever work she's putting in, she's kind of getting the outcome for the amount of work that has been put in. So that is flow. So now we look at timing from nature. Nature is very fascinating because it moves in rhythms until it actually doesn't. So what exactly do I mean when nature moves in rhythms? So nature moving in rhythms is you have a rhythm of day and night, and you have certain hours allotted for the day and certain hours allotted for the night. You have a rhythm as far as the moon is concerned. You have a full moon and then the moon starts waning until you have a new moon. And then the cycle will repeat. It will go back to the full moon and then it will come back to the new moon. So that is another rhythm. You have rhythm of seasons. For instance, let's say that you are in summer and you know that the natural progression from summer is the fall season. From fall you go to winter, from winter you go to spring, and then from spring you go to summer again. And this cycle of season, it keeps repeating itself. Well, it's been repeating for a long time, so it does keep repeating itself. So that is how the natural rhythms work. Yet stars have a rhythm of their own and it is non-linear, which means that I think I'm going to demonstrate this with an example. So here's the rhythm of nature. It is very linear. So let's say as far as seasons are concerned, they kind of go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, and then they repeat themselves. So it is more cyclical. So that is as far as the seasons are concerned. So now if we look at the rhythm from the stars, it is non-linear, which means that if you have a month, then I'm just going to divide the months into 9 sections to make things easy, or to make life easy, at least my life. I don't know what yours. Stars will, for instance, say that, okay, this is the place where stars want to flow very, very easily, or they want to make things easy for you. So if you know this kind of time or period or chunk of time in advance, then you can align things so that they move easily and favorably for you. So for instance, in the case of Beena, where she was looking for work here all the time and she was getting all rejections, and then maybe at this point in time she continues to give up, or she continues to quit looking, or she gives up. So what is going to happen is, if there was something where she was going to go and move forward here, if she goes on a vacation and she doesn't do any interviews, essentially she has sort of missed the train, so to say. So essentially think of it as timing for a train. Trains come at certain times and they leave at certain times, and you have to be there before the train comes. Otherwise, if you just come in like after the train has left, then you have to wait for the next train. So in the same way here, if she misses this time period, then she has to wait for the next period of time when the stars decide to kind of show her their favor, which period is going to be here. But in this particular scenario or this example, what's going to happen is she's going to have to wait a long period of time. So here she could have had it like almost in slot 4, whereas here she has it in slot 9 if she kind of foregoes the slot for, because at that particular point in time she is not paying attention to her work and she has decided to, let's say, enjoy herself, maybe take a vacation, not do any interviews, and so on. So you can know these periods in advance, and I have a free workshop where I show you all the frameworks that I use in order to be able to calculate these periods and to find these periods, and you can leverage the power of this timing so that you don't have to be in a state of force and you can be more in a state of flow. And not only that, knowing when things are going to work out for you. I've seen this with a lot of my clients. I have done thousands and thousands of readings. Just the fact that they know that around this time is when things are going to shift or change, it gives them a lot of peace of mind, and they continue to do their work without feeling a lot of pressure or without using force, so to say. Whereas if you don't know that, you're almost in a situation where, oh, when is this going to happen? And maybe you're forcing, and then at times you're giving up, and then you're forcing. So that is the power of knowing these periods in advance. So now that you know force versus flow, what questions do you need to ask yourself before you make a big decision? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that is the subject of my next video, and I'll see you in my next video.